Can you hear me
I
all
am
right?
good. How are you?
Look at you, beautiful again. I feel underdressed.
Can I just share something? First of all, I'd like to apologize because this was supposed to be a 6 p.m. thingy,
Oh, that's fine.
but we kind of got hooked up something out there. So I'm really sorry, guys, but thank you. This look, 30 minutes, darling. 30
Really?
minutes.
Wow, that is brilliant. Do you know what? You should be sharing tips with some of my dancing friends that take hours to get ready and they're still not ready. When would you two be ready? So well done. Well done. For the thing, I've even got today, because I was like, I saw Chi Chi yesterday. I've got yourself tonight. I was like, what the hell do I wear? Because being in lockdown, we haven't been out. So I'm like, it's nice to put something else on other than joggers. So I've got my Yes Queen t-shirt.
Yes.
So how have you been? How's it been for you? How's lockdown treating you?
Um, it's been really crazy. Let's be honest about that. Um, the first lockdown was like, yeah, we're good. We'll get over this. We're fine. Second lockdown was like, okay.
Yeah,
And then 2021 lockdown, I'm just like, girl, I'm so over this.
yeah,
But it's been great. I mean, I always say this, there's some good and there's some bad about the lockdown, like realizing what's important to
yeah.
you. Um and yeah, it's been amazing at some point, but it has been really crazy, and for sure I'm not the only one who thinks it's crazy. What about you? How have you been doing since lockdown?
Yeah, I think it's the same. I mean, like the first lockdown, I was due to go. A lot of people know this. I was due to go abroad in April, so it was my 10-year anniversary of my company, and I was umming and ahhing on what to do, and then as you know, so it's so important to do things for yourself. So I'd taken a job to go work abroad. I had my flight booked, everything ready to go,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, and then it all obviously fell through. But the first lockdown, it was nice to have a break from all the teaching and the having some time out and get stuff done around the flat. Second one, like you say, was a bit like, okay, we've been here. This one, yeah, I'm over it. I'm. It feels like it's longer. I don't know about you. It just feels like this is going on.
Forever.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's because as well, because obviously with the second lot, you had Christmas and things to look forward to,
Yeah.
and I think because it's obviously a new year, you think, oh, new year, new start, can get on with life. And Mr. Boris goes, no, actually,
You can't.
actually, no. So yeah, it's been strange. But I was just thinking because I remember you very. This is probably gonna not freak you out a little bit, but because it probably just shows you fate of how things happen. So we very very rarely go out in Ipswich.
Hmm.
And the gay scene in Ipswich is pretty much non-existent. There was one little club that kind of just got bought by someone else that was going to make it gay friendly, which it just to keep that market open, but it clearly was. And when we heard there was Glitter Bomb, it was coming
Yes.
to Ipswich. We turned up and we had the meet and greet thing with Willem, and Cheryl Hole was there as
Cheryl
well.
Hole, I was about to say.
Yeah,
Cheryl Hole was there that night, and it's just like, wow.
yeah, and obviously you were there as well, and it was probably, I'm not just like kissing your ass, it was probably the best night we've
Oh,
ever had in Ipswich, because not
Ipswich.
just there was no drama, but it was brilliant. It was so good, and
Willem
Willem
was just
arrived.
crazy good, wasn't she?
Yeah, Willem arrived on a
The Hoover or something.
yeah, the hoverboard things through the club. And but yeah, I remember watching obviously Willem, and Cheryl was teaching myself and Ryan to do death drops. Ryan ended up hurting his ankle and was off work for like a couple of weeks. But I remember you were by the meet and greet. You remember any the amount of people you meet, but you were standing there, and you were smiling, you were bringing people along and things. And
Yes.
I said I came up to you and I was like, "You're amazing." I said, "You look phenomenal," and you were like, "Oh, darn, thanks so much." And I was like, "You're really good." I said, and you were like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." And obviously everyone was there, I suppose, for Willem, but myself and my friend, we just couldn't take our eyes off you and your performing and the way that you were, and you were so friendly to everybody. And we're all
Oh,
singers. And I remember standing back and watching you, and you were just, you didn't break. You were like, hi, you all right? And how are you? And and I was thinking, wow, like, so, it's amazing to actually chat to you. How that must have been what, 2 years ago?
yes, more or less. It was 2 years ago. Yes, yeah, and
Yeah.
that was memorable for me because that was my. I mean, I've known of Cheryl Hole, even before I moved to the UK, and that was my first time working with her. So
Uh,
that's a fact. So I was like, I know about her. I've seen her. I've seen her in Instagram and everywhere else, but I haven't really worked with her, and that was my
yeah.
first time working with her, and of course with Willem, first time for Willem as well. But that was
Yeah.
an amazing night because I think when I moved here. I didn't know any venue.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone. But then going into these gigs, like as you said, I just got to learn about you guys, and then we just added each other in Instagram, and just
Yeah.
that's it. Just build your connections. Yeah.
So, so going back, when did you, obviously you get loads and loads of questions. I did do my research. Apparently it was the 13th of September. You started drag in 2013. Is that right?
Oh my God, where did you find that?
I
You
saw
know your
it.
research.
Oh,
Yes, September 2013. I did put a date just because I wanted to have a date of when I really officially started drag. I've been doing drag way before that, but September 2013 was my first gig, paid gig. That's
yeah.
why I said, you know what, this is gonna be my my drag birthday.
Yeah.
Regardless if I've done drag earlier than that, this is gonna be my drag birthday from then on. Yeah.
How was that? How was the response for you? Because I said this to Chicha yesterday. So how was the response for you? You know, doing it, like, was everyone really supportive? Were your friends surprised? Were your family surprised? Were they just like,
Um,
oh,
they're very supportive. I mean, my typical Asian family. My parents don't know I do drag. My sisters do.
yeah,
And of course, all of my friends. But they've been very supportive. It's they were like, yeah, we knew you were gonna do something creative or something artsy fartsy because I was really always creative. I've always because my first love was dancing. I really love dancing. I'm not trained, so I'm not like Cheryl Hole. I can't do the death drop. I can do another drop, but not the death drop. Yeah, and then they weren't really surprised when I was like, you know, I'm gonna be a performer. I want to be a drag performer. And they were like, yeah, we see it. So yeah, it was
and
something that I think led me to it. Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, you're. I know you put it on Instagram a lot. Your other half does a lot of like the wigs and your
Some of my outfits. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And he just studied that because of me. He
Wow.
learned, yes, yeah, that's how much he loves me here. He's actually cooking, he's cooking dinner right now. So there you go. That's how much he loves me. Anyway, yeah, he does my hair. He styles my wigs. And he does some of my outfits. I've actually learned to do some of my outfits now. So yeah, because of him, because he was like, we need to learn and make sure, because it's really expensive. Let's be honest. Some of the things that you find online can be really expensive, but if you know how learn how to sew and get a fabric and you can create magical stuff, and it's only for you. It's
Yeah,
only
definitely.
made for you.
I think that's what sometimes people don't realize is a lot of these like drag people, drag superstars, drag performers, you know, regardless, are, you know, they're artists, and it's not just the character, but it's the outfits they put, the hair, the makeup, the looks, the themes, whether it's Halloween, whether it's a Christmas look, whether it's, you know, a Pride look, and, you know, not all, but a lot of like
Yeah,
drag queens
most of
I've
them.
seen,
Yeah.
they make them and they buy them from charity shops, or they sew and graft, which is shocking when you see things like RuPaul and you see the odd one that goes on there and they have no idea how to even pick up a needle and thread. And
Which is sad because you're like, this is like what, the second season of the UK, 13 seasons in the US.
yeah,
You should know and at least know how to work a sewing machine. But hey,
yeah, yeah. But the thing I was talking of RuPaul and like Drag Race and things. I mean, it's huge now. When you look at, you can even see like from the budgets of the first one to you know the ones now. And I do think sometimes people forget that it doesn't have to be all the, you know, people remember the ones that are on the TV program, but there are hundreds of thousands of other people that do drag and performances and things like that that aren't on RuPaul that are just as good, if not better, than some of the people that are showcased, which I think sometimes is a shame because it's always getting that name for the club when actually there's some great people out there that are amazing that just don't ever get that, you know, platform, I suppose, so to speak. Do you find it's been easier or harder since like the RuPaul movement?
I want to give credit where credit is due. I mean, I think the reason why, specifically queens, specifically drag queens, I believe the reason why specifically drag queens are very popular or they're part of the pop culture nowadays is because of that show. Let's give them the credit. These are the facts that, you know what, without that show, at some point, it wouldn't be as popular as it is right now. And I do agree that there's lots of amazing queens, kings, AFAB, or in general drag performers out there that are so amazing, so talented. And I'm talking from a place of privilege because I'm a queen, wherein I'm, you know, in a way I'm bookable because I'm a queen. Whereas other performers, such as, you know, kings, as I mentioned, AFAB, it's the struggle is still real for them. If you know what I mean, they have to push harder. This is so hard to say, but they're always the last option. Like, oh, the queen backed out. Oh, let's get a king then. Do you know what I mean? It's always, there's always going to be a token king or AFAB, which really it pains my, you know, my heart to see that because some of them are just so fucking amazing. They're even more talented than most queens, if I may say.
Yeah, definitely. Do you with performing? I asked this yesterday to Chi Chi, and I said, do you find that obviously with the drag persona, a lot of drag queens, the way that they are as a person, you know, as Benny, as Asia, would you say you're very different, or would you say you know you take parts from one to put into the other?
I would say Asia is an extension of Benny, if you know what I mean. I mean, I said that in a previous interview from a friend's Instagram, like how different is Asia from Benny and how do you identify and differentiate it? I always think that for me, personally, Asia is just an extension of Benny. The quirkiness, the fun. There are certain aspects that only Asia can do that Benny will have a hard time doing, you know, like getting free drinks. Usually when I go to a bar and I'm in drag, like, oh, you're the one who performed here, no, I'll get you a free drink. And the funny part, this is so amazing. Earlier they were like, hey, let's have a photo, blah, blah, blah. And then once you get out of drag, they're just like, I don't know you.
Do you perform out of drag as well? Do you find that you can perform out of drag, or is that a no-go?
I haven't done that for a while. I used to, I don't really perform in front of audiences outside of drag, but I used to do dance. I used to attend dance lessons, dance classes. I don't do it now, but I think I haven't really performed outside drag. I haven't. No. I don't think I have the same confidence, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, that's it's weird because Chi Chi said exactly the same. Said there's a routine she does where she's all made up and then she takes the makeup and things off as she's singing the song. And she's like, by the end of it, there is this like vulnerability of like, oh, they can see me, and it's I suppose that's the thing. It's you don't just put on the makeup and the wig and the heels and the outfit. It is this character. This, you know, did it take you a while to find out who Asia was, to get that sense of, you know, ground of like, right, this is my character, and this is who I'm going to be?
It did take me a while. I remember when I was first doing drag, there was this, I was in Singapore, there was this drag queen, her name is Becca the Bus, and she actually hosts a weekly or a monthly drag show in Singapore. And I remember I used to belong to an all Filipino drag queen in Singapore. We're called the Vajayjays. I remember she did say she did say something like, look, I enjoy you three as a group, but I also need to know you guys as an individual performer.
Almost like an individuality of like, I suppose like the Spice Girls, that they wanted an individual personality to be like, we want to relate to one, we want to love this one, and we don't want to like this one. There needs to be a different between all of you.
Yeah, I think because I think what Becca the Bus was trying to say then was like, you know, at least if I book you individually,
Yeah.
I know what you're capable of, and it's identifiable. It's not just like you're an all-girl group, like Destiny's Child. You know who Michelle is. You know who Beyonce is. You know who Kelly is. I don't want
Who
you.
the other one is.
Poor Michelle.
Bless Michelle, honestly.
Bless Michelle. We love her. But yeah, it took me a while. As going back to your question, it took me a while to pretty much know who I was as a performer. It took me a while to have the mug that I'm comfortable with, or the paint, the face. It took me a while to know what outfit works for me and what numbers work for me. Because before I was just like, oh, I'm gonna do a Beyonce, and I'm like, you're not as good as Beyonce, or you're not better at doing a Beyonce. So don't do that. So you have to learn all of these. You got to learn what your strengths are.
Yeah.
And I think that's eventually going to be coming into you naturally once you just accept the fact, like, you know what? I just want to have fun. I just want to do my thing. What am I good at? And then you just focus on that, and girl, baby boy, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Rather than, I suppose, you don't want it to, you do see a lot of people that it's forced, and you can tell it's forced. Like, I think if you get people doing, when I've gone to Canary and seen certain queens doing certain numbers, and you can tell when I've seen other people do it, you're like, this doesn't sit right. It's not your personality. It's I suppose it's like when you get certain pop stars singing certain songs from other people, and you think it wasn't a good choice. But talking of your makeup, what is the process of your makeup? First of all, how long does it take? Tonight you said 30 minutes.
Tonight was 30 minutes.
Hats off, honestly. How long does it normally take? Like, if you were going to just have like a chilled, right, I've got some time to do it, you know, what's the process and the time?
Okay. Well, for me, the process is I need to, like, for example, I know I'm going on live tonight. I need to know what my hair will be, so at least I know how to play around with the colors or with whatever. I actually lay down a towel. I'll put all my makeup there. I'll put my mirror, and then I'll do my eyebrows first. But for me, mentally, I have to be there at some point. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to know, like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I know what I look like. I know what I'm gonna look like tomorrow. So it's more of like a process, wherein you know what you want to look like, and then you kind of envision that, and then hopefully, praise the Lord, make it happen. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just because you did, I've seen like some obviously the looks you've done, and I think that's what's great with you is you are very versatile. Like your looks that you've got on your Instagram, for instance, there's some which, you know, like are very long and, you know, glamorous hair that's huge with, you know, the diamond stuff, and then like say like tonight you've got, you know, short bobs and things like that. Do you is that probably the positivity and the pro of having, you know, someone that deals with hair? And do you take advice from him? This will look good, we're throwing this one out?
Yes, yeah, it is, absolutely. I mean, let's just say right now, what's in right now is human hair, feminine look. Which is, if I may say, a little bit more easy, if I may say, because at some point you can just put it on and then brush it, and then you're good. Whereas previously, in the past few years, what was in was like the Marcel wave, the big hair, the bun here, the bun there, which was really hard because imagine carrying that to the venue, and then if you want to remove it and then place it somewhere, it has to be in the head. So yeah, you really need to know what the trend is. You need to know this, what you call your go-to wigs. Like, I'm in a rush, I need a short hair. Bam, that looks good. Bam.
And you've got to perform with it. You like any costume, and the numbers that you do. You know, whether you're flicking your hair around or you know you're in an environment in a club where there's people who are very touchy, and you know they you know that. You know, you've got to think, right, this is going to stay, this is going to stick, this isn't going to fall off. You know, I'd like my costume to come back to the dressing room with me, you know, or the stairwell, wherever you're told to to get dressed, which I'm sure you've got changed in some random places as we have before.
Kitchen, you know, kitchen so super hot, super greasy floor, but hey,
Got to make it work.
make it work.
I think people are normally really surprised when I do like little Q&As with kids, and when they come and watch our shows, they think when you're performing that you've got the dressing room with the mirror, the lights around the mirror, and there's a sofa, and you've got, you know, water on it, and you're like, we got, I think it was 7 of us once we did a gig, and we got changed in a disabled toilet, and it was, yeah, wasn't pretty, it wasn't good. How was, talking of performing, how was, because you did Brighton Pride, didn't you, the last, because we were there.
Yes.
I didn't know you were there at the time, but how was that for you?
It was massive for me. I think Brighton Pride is one of the biggest Pride. I mean, after London Pride, I think it's Brighton Pride, if you know what I mean. So being there, being asked to be part of one of the areas to perform is just, for me, I think it was such a privilege. It was such, it was a highlight for me, because Brighton Pride is like, imagine that was the year that Kylie Minogue, Paul? Yeah. Kylie Minogue was performing. Yeah. So it was freaking amazing. Yeah. I still can't get over it at some point. I'm like, I did Brighton Pride, like OMG, yeah. I did that. And yeah, I mean, I felt really good about it. It solidifies, I mean, all of these gigs, I'm so thankful to have all of these gigs, because, you know, I mean, there's lots of performers out there. For you to be picked, chosen to be part of that particular Brighton Pride show was, for me, it was just like mind-boggling. Like, why me? Of all wonderful performers there, but it was a good experience for me. It was a wonderful experience, yeah. I'm having gin and tonic, by the way. Sorry about that.
So that again?
I'm having gin and tonic, by the way.
Oh, nice. I'm a bit boring tonight. I'll drink a little bit later. I've had to stop. I just find like, I'm like, what day's the day? Tuesday. Oh well, ends with day. It's like
every day is a drink day, possibly, isn't it?
I know. It's when you start at 1 in the afternoon that that's not good. So
that's too late.
Yeah. Carry on through. Were you due to go to? Because we were due to go to Brighton Pride last year. So it was Mariah and Pussycat Dolls, and obviously that got cancelled. And I'm hoping and praying it's going to happen this year. But
yeah, I was supposed to go there as well, but not as a performer, but as a, you know, as an pretty much as, what do you call this? Oh my god, I can't even think. As a ticket holder, as a supporter. Yeah. I was supposed to go there, yeah, but so sad. I was really waiting for Mariah and for Pussycat Dolls for them to release React, one of their latest songs. During that, I was like, and then obviously Corona is a bitch, so
yeah. So I've got some questions for you from someone's asked a question here. I don't know what this one is. So it says, anyone, where are your earrings from?
Oh, where are my earrings from? Amped accessories.
Not H&M.
I think it's
H&M.
It's Amped accessories. I think they're a Canadian. They're a Canadian company. You usually see them in the RuPaul's Drag Race queens in the US, you know, promoting them. So we kind of looked it up and we saw this wonderful heart pride colored thingy. So we're just like, yep, it's Amped accessories, yeah.
It's another question is from Saskias. What is your favorite all-time outfit you have worn?
Oh, okay. My favorite all-time outfit that I've worn. I do have a color splat outfit. It's actually white base and then it's color splat. And I wore that for a Pride event in South End. So I think that was one of my favorite ones because it's a bodysuit, but it has a tearaway skirt. So I really love a reveal. So yeah, I love that.
I think everyone loves a good reveal when you
right, and you have to do it right.
Yeah. There's another question for you. It says, oh, there's a few. It says, what is your favorite song to perform?
Oh wow, I do have a few mixes that I really like. It will depend on the crowd. One of my favorite mixes right now is if I know that I need to bring the camp, the fun, and the energy. I do a woman mix. I did create a woman mix. I love that mix. And then if it's
Okay.
just something laid back, I love the mix that I made. It's called All by Myself by Celine Dion, but it's a take on
Yeah.
all by myself. What do you do when you're all by yourself? You touch your
Oh,
so yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
do
that
love
one.
that, yeah.
Uh, Another question was, who is your favorite drag queen?
Okay, that is very vague. Let's say RuPaul's Drag Race queens. Those that have been to the show, I think one of my favorites. There's a lot, to be honest, but one of my favorites is Bianca Del Rio, because I think she just carries herself so good on stage, off
Yeah.
stage, and she doesn't need to dance and death drop and do whatever to please a
No.
crowd. She just stands there, open her mouth, and her brain just goes ding 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 ding
Mm.
ding ding, and you're just entertained. And I think that is such a
And
quality that
it's
not
just
everyone
funny.
has.
It's just not forced either. Yeah.
So Bianca Del Rio, I have to give that. Non-drag race, I do have a lot of favorite queens. I mean, UK, I can't say much, but there are a lot. But one of those that I really, really adore is Donna Trump. Have you heard of Donna Trump?
No, I haven't. No.
Donna Trump, yeah. One of my favorite. One, because she's really amazing as a person in and out. And the content of drag that she produces is just amazing. So Donna Trump, I love you. I love her. But there's a lot of queens and kings that I really do love in the UK or everywhere else. But because I do follow a lot in Instagram, but there's just so much to mention. But she's one of them.
Okay, there's another one that says from Pony Under 4 is what has been your worst ever club experience?
Club experience.
Yeah, I suppose like it's a bad experience or a performance experience where you've just gone, oh, just get me out of here. Anything that's ever gone wrong,
Um,
a track has skipped.
oh, my hair fell off. I mean, there was an instance where I was doing this was in Glitter Bomb. It was a Glitter Bomb event, but it wasn't in, oh my god, I forgot where it was, but it was a Glitter Bomb event. And we
Yeah.
were at the night, and the theme of the night was oh my god, what's that red shoe? Kinky Boots. It was a Kinky Boots night.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I was doing a Kinky Boots inspired number, and my
yeah.
wig that time was like pulled up, and then it was like a pony, and
Yeah.
it was a little heavy. And when I was doing my number, I felt it was like going up, and there were photos everywhere of me with my wig here. I mean, I eventually had to pull it out and be like, yeah. And you know what the sad part is?
Just work it. Yeah, you just
Some of the viewers were in there. They were in the play of Kinky Boots, so they were watching while I was having a horrible night on stage. But you know what? We worked it.
yeah.
I
And it's,
removed the wig and I just like performed.
and it's memorable.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's memorable. You've got to work with it. There's one, what is your favorite lip sync song? If you had to choose your favorite lip sync song, what would you pick?
Oh my god. My song or that I've done before or
Any song. If someone said, right, you know, if there's a lip sync song that you could absolutely slay and be like, yeah, I know 100%, and it's one that you probably pick, maybe one that you enjoy doing, what would you pick?
okay. I've always been a Mariah fan. Like I'm one of the, if I may say, one of the biggest Mariah Carey fan. And the reason why I don't do a Mariah Carey song is, let's be honest, some of her songs are very like, I like an upbeat, like, hey, we're having fun. Her
Yeah.
songs are really nice, but it's, as a performer, it's very challenging to perform because they might get bored, if you know what I mean, because I'm not
Yeah.
Mariah. But I would love to do, well, I do have one now. It's called, her song Emotions. I
Yeah.
live for that.
Yeah.
And I did the mix. I'm doing it, I think, on the 27th. If anyone's, I'm doing a digital show on the 27th with Glitter Bomb. I'm doing the Emotions mix. So
Oh, that's
it's a little bit
bad.
of campery, but with a little bit of like the high notes of Mariah. So yeah,
You gotta do the finger in the ear.
you gotta do that.
Enough. It must have been 4 or 5 years ago now. I went to New York and she was performing at theatre. Didn't have a clue she was. I was, you know, and I managed to get a ticket on my own. I was 4 rows back from the front. Yeah, and it was I can't think. It was in New York, the theatre, but she always used to go there, and it was a Christmas show.
Is it a Beacon Theater?
So that again,
Is it Beacon Theater?
yes,
Yes,
yes.
that was yes. She had a 3-day residency in the Beacon Theater for her Christmas show.
It was amazing, and like, I was on my own, but there was a guy next to me who also was on his own, and we were just. He was like, you know, oh, you from London and all this stuff, and I was like, yeah, we'll say we're from London. And she was amazing, and she was very different to when I've seen her in the O2 with an arena to a lot smaller theatre.
Intimate, yeah.
It was complete. She was completely different. She was chatting with people. She was like, she reached down to one of the fans, like on the front. She was like, "This has got to go back in the safe, darling. Don't touch me," you know. And it was diva, but it was brilliant. There was one question some guy had asked on here. It said, "What is I think it was your favorite Filipino dish?" They are something very different.
Oh my god. It has to be adobo for me. I think chicken or pork. Sorry for all the vegan and vegetarian, but I do eat meat. Chicken or pork adobo is one of my go-to Filipino dishes. It's one of my favorite. I can eat that every day. So, and I can cook that. So, you know, once lockdown is over.
Before I just was going to ask, obviously I teach a lot of kids. What would you say to any children or any kids or any teenagers that are thinking about, you know, something that I might want to do or might want to when they're older? What would you say to anyone that's watching this going, you know, I'd be saving teenagers, but like, you know, 20s, people 30s, 40s, they're thinking I would like to do drag. What would you say to that person?
Go for it. I mean, for me, drag is for everyone. As long as, you know, drag can be anything, whether you're a performer, whether you're a look queen, whether you're an Instagram queen, whether you just love the art and you just love it per se, go ahead, do it. I mean, there's lots of resources nowadays. There's Instagram, there's YouTube. I learned my face, how to paint through YouTube. Through other queens as well. So you have lots of resources. You have lots of queens that you can send them a message on Instagram now. You can send them a DM and ask for support and ask for how to do this and that. Go for it. I mean, the world is so big. The world is your playground. Go for it.
Are you on TikTok?
No.
You need to get on TikTok, do some of these reveals. There's loads.
I'm thinking I'm too old for TikTok.
No
Okay.
one's ever.
You know what? I've been contemplating if I should go to TikTok, but
do it.
Now that you said that, maybe we should look at it.
It's so good. The reveals are brilliant. It's all things like they've got the camera, then they move their hands and back, and they're trying
like that. Ding, ding, ding.
It's amazing. Yeah, exactly. You're already halfway there. Right before I go, I've got to do the quick fire with you, which is I don't know if you said so. At the very end, I'll ask you quick fire questions, and you've got to choose one or the other. So your ones. Are you ready?
My god!
I think. Here we go. So, are you stubborn or easygoing?
Easygoing.
An early bird or a night owl?
Early bird.
Sensitive or tough?
I'm sensitive.
Okay. Sex and the City, Desperate Housewives.
Sharks. Oh my god. I'll just go with Sex and the City.
Okay. Night in or night out?
Nowadays, night in. But I want a night out.
Yeah. When it's over, night out. Willem, Cheryl Hole.
I'll go with my girl, Cheryl Hole. I love Cheryl Hole. And personally, she's just amazing.
Yeah. Carson Kressley, Ross Matthews.
Ross. I love the cuteness of Ross.
Yeah, I think that. Sasha Velour, Bob the Drag Queen.
Bob. Bob the Drag Queen.
Last three. Would you rather read minds for 3 days or be invisible for 3 days?
Be invisible for 3 days.
Unicorn was mayhem.
I would go to jail.
And then these are song choices. So the last two are, which one would you rather do a performance to? Because I've seen some of your performances. Came Here for Love, or I'm Telling You. And I'm Telling You.
Came Here for Love. One of my
Go on.
No, it was one of my first few mixes that I made myself. So I do want Came Here for Love, yeah.
And the last one is Man, I Feel Like a Woman, or your Respect mix, which is very good.
Oh, I hate you for this. I'll do Man, I Feel Like a Woman, because I think that recently it has been really impactful in a way that people be like, yeah! So yeah, I'll say that.
It is classic, just a classic song. You see the outfit now, the leopard print, all, what was it, that she wears in Don't Impress Me Much. Oh, brilliant. Well, look, honestly, thank you so much for this. I know like you're busy, and I do really appreciate this. And anyone that wants to follow you, what is the best thing for them to follow you on? Just Miss Asia Thorne on
Instagram, yeah.
And
it's at Miss Asia Thorne Instagram. Yeah. Sorry, was that again?
And on Facebook, you got a page on Facebook?
Yeah, I do have a page. It's just Miss Asia Thorne, yeah. But mostly it's Instagram for now. I mean, maybe TikTok. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. And I was going to say, and Miss Asia Thorne on TikTok, because it hasn't been taken, I don't think. So you need to get it.
Oh, shit.
You got it. You got to do it. Well, thank you, honestly. Thanks so much. And thanks, everyone, for the questions and whatnot. And stay safe in the rest of lockdown. And hopefully, when this is all over, we can all meet up and have cocktails and have a proper dance.
Thank you so much for having me. And I know it was supposed to be for 6 p.m. So I'm so sorry, guys. But thank you so much. It's been amazing. It's just nice to see people, pretty much. And hopefully, soon in person.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Thank you so much.
Love you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.